Hello guys, welcome back to our Java fundamental course. So this is a module number 6 and in this module we are going to see loops in Java or repeating task in Java. So now we are going to see how to perform repeating task in Java. So there are different types of uh, tasks whenever we have to perform repeatedly, and at that time we cannot use if else statement or switch statement, or we cannot do that task repeatedly, and we are not going to suppose that we have to perform and we have to print numbers from 1 to 10. Then we are not going to use print statement again and again till 10 times. So this is a very long process and this is a time consuming process, so we are not going to use that. So we are going to use loops. So now Java provide different type of control flow statement to execute code repeatedly. So there are already built-in uh, keywords which we are going to use to perform loops. So these are known as loops. So loops will be performed tasks repeatedly. So looping statement allow repeating tasks. So there are different type of loops. First one is while loop, second one is do while loop, and third one is for loop. So now we are going to see this in details. So now while loops. So it is used to perform tasks whenever we don't know the uh, times of that task, whenever we don't know that how many times the task is never need to be performed. So at that time we use while loop. So it will repeats code block of code as long as condition is true. So this is a syntax of while loop. So first of all we are going to use the while statement or while keyword. So this is a statement we are going to use, and after that in brackets we are going to enter a condition. Whenever this condition is true, it will execute this block of code which are going to enter in this block of code or in the curly braces. So this is a while loop. So it is used whenever we don't know the how many times the task is going to perform. So we are going to use while loop. So now we are going to see example of while loop. So in this we are going to perform we are going to print 1 to 10 numbers. So this is a while keyword, and we have given the condition whenever I is less than 10 perform this task. So we have already initialized the I, and we have already declared this I. Suppose that we have declared this I as a 1 or 0. So whenever we have to perform this task. So in this image also you can see that we have performed this task in our Eclipse IDE. So now this is a public static main. We are going to see all these things in our next videos. So now just focus on these loops. So now we have created variable. I have already covered how what is variable, what is data type. We have created this integer type of variable, and we have initialized this with 1. So value of I is 1. So now we have use while loop to print number from 1 to 10. So now while keyword is used, condition is given, and these are the brackets in which we are going to enter our code which is going to print whenever this condition is true. So now we have used system.out.println, and we are going to print the value of I. So now we are not going to use double quotes because this is an integer value, and we are going to print integer of I. So now after executing this print, we are going to increment this by using incrementing the value of I. So we are going to use I plus plus, so it will increment the value of I by 1. Okay, so you can also decrement by using minus minus, and you can increment using plus plus. So we are incrementing the value, and after, so now how it will be going to. So first one is I is 1, I value is 1, and it will check whether I is less than 10. So yes, I is less than 10. So it will go in this brackets, and after that it will print the value of I is 1, and after that it will increment the value of I. So first one is it will print I 1, and after that it will increment the value of I. So I will become 2, and again that it will check, and this will perform repeatedly, and whenever the I becomes greater than or equal to 10, the condition will be false and it will go out of loop. So our loop will be end. So this is a while loop. Now we are going to see do while loop. So now do while loop. So do while loop is always similar to while loop, but condition check after first iteration. So this is a do while loop, and code of block execute at least. Okay, now we are going to see the syntax, and also I will explain all these things which are written in this slide. Okay, so now do while loop is similar to while loop, but there is one change. So we are going to use do keyword first, and after performing the task we are going to check the condition, and whenever the condition is true, it will again check perform this task, and again it will go and check that the condition is true. So it will go to, it will run until when the condition will become false. So it is a similar to while loop, but one major thing is that do while loop execute this block of code at least one time, but in while loop it will run at that time when the condition will become true, and if condition is false in the while loop it will never run. But in do while loop it will run at least one time, and after checking the condition uh, it will run or not, because the condition, if the condition match then it will continue running, and if it is false then it will run one time and it will go out of loop. So this is a while loop, or this is a do while loop. So it will do this task first and then check the condition. So now we have already seen the example of while loop, so it is also similar. Now we are going to see for loop. So why for loop is used? So for loop is used whenever we know that the number of times we have to perform the task, and while loop is used whenever we don't know the number of times the task is going to perform. So now we have know that how many times we have to perform the task, so then we are going to use for loop. So it will execute code repeated fixed number of times. Okay, so I already told you that. So now we are going to see syntax of for loop. So this is the syntax. First one is for keyword, so it will tell like the compiler that we are going for loop. So now for is a keyword, and keyword I have already told that keyword is a reserved words in the compiler. So now first thing is we are going to initialize the variable, and after that we are going to enter the condition, and after that we are going to increment after each iteration, and this is the block of code. So now what is the initialization? So it will tell from where to start our for loop. So consider that we have to start with value, we have to print the value from 1 to 10. So we will initialize our value from 1, and then we are going to check condition is whether I is less than 10. So whenever a condition is true, then it will go inside this code and it will execute that code. And also after that it will go to this and it will increment the value of that variable, and it will go towards the end of loop. So it will run until the condition is true. So now we are going to see one example, but before that understand that we are using this semicolon for separating all these things. Okay, now this is the example. I have already explained this example. So now this is in for loop. So we are printing the values from 0 to 9 in this code. So first of all we have used uh, first of all we have created class, we have mentioned the main method, and after that we are doing this task. So for is a keyword, and after that we are incrementing the value of I as 0. So this is a integer type of variable. Variable name is I, we can give anything. It is not mandatory to give I. So we have initialized with 0, so it will start with 0, and we have used semicolon to separate this condition and all these things. After that we have given the condition is I is less than 10, and after that we have given one more semicolon. After that we have incremented our uh, value of I, and after that we have used this curly braces to enter our enter the task which we have to perform. So now we are performing printing the value of I from 0 to 9. So I is 0, so first of all it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and whenever it becomes 10 the condition will become false, and its flow will go out of loop. So this is a for loop. Whenever we know the number of times we have to perform the task is known, then we use that uh, for loop. Okay, so now we are ending our session. So we have seen the repeated task, how repeated task perform in Java. So we have seen loops. So what are the loops? So loops allow repeating execution of code blocks, and we have seen while loop, do while loop, for loop, and all these things we have already seen our in this session. So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and if you have any question then feel free to ask. I will answer each and every question in the comment box. And also if you understand this topic then please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye.